Good day, everyone. We are the third group, and we will be presenting our assigned 7 ego defense mechanisms along with some role plays as our example. Our group is composed of Reniedo, Riodica, Respicio, Reyes, Rodrigo, Roque, Rojas, and Tiangco. Next slide, please. So we are going to start with the first defense mechanism, which is conversion. So to define conversion, conversion is an expression of an emotional conflict through the development of a physical symptom, or also known as somatic symptoms, which means relating to the body, usually sensory motor in nature. So, in simpler terms, conversion of emotional distress into unexplained physical symptoms is the definition of conversion mechanism. So, one applicable disorder is called the somatic symptom disorder, or specifically under that is the conversion disorder or functional neurological symptom disorder. This is converting emotional and psychological distress into a physiological disorder that is real but unexplainable. So, based on literature, researchers are still looking for a specific cause, but they think that it happens as a way for our brain to deal with emotional stress. So, an example would be is when a child fell off his bike hard, then after a while experienced paralyzation of his arm. So, this could possibly happen due to manifestation of shock and trauma with an unexpected event. So for some other examples, we have a soldier experiences sudden blindness as he saw his close friend dying from a stray bullet in the military base. And a girl recently saw her boyfriend cheat on her with her best friend, then suddenly experienced dizziness and blurriness of the eyes. So for the next slide, we have a role play encompassing a person suffering from a somatic symptom disorder.
Sis, mag-island hopping tayo mamaya. Ready ka na ba?
Kailangan ko ba talaga sumama? Di ba pwedeng maiwan na lang ako dito? Baka mapano pa tayo niyan. May life vest ba? Baka naman wala. Ano na mangyayari sa atin?
Bakit ayaw mo ba? Sayang discount kasi. Ikaw lang may iwan dito. May life vest naman doon, syempre, alam naman wala. Adi patay kagad sila. Huwag ka masyado kabahan, safe na safe tayo doon. Kaya halika na, bawal humindi, huwag kang KJ.
Sige na nga, pero para makapag-enjoy na din. Pero kasi, sure na ba yan? Complete ba sila ng safety materials? Basta, aalis na ako pag hindi yan mukhang safe, ha?
Few moments later, nasa boat na.
Uy, sure ka ba dito? Alis na ako, parang tutumba na tayo. Tingnan mo, ang lakas ng alon. Tama na, iikot na natin to, kuya, please.
Enjoy mo na, ang saya, no? May dagdag pang thrill, no? O, may alon-alon pa. Huwag ka na dyan, KJ.
Tama na kasi, ano ba? Baka tumaob tayo. Uy, pag ka masyado gumalaw, baka tumamba tayo.
Lumakas yung alon. Mga friends, ang saya, no? Ano, Jay, nag-enjoy ka ba? Mukhang nilalamig ka ata kasi mukha kang statue dyan. Huy, ano na?
Oo nga, ang saya eh. Sulit yung bayad natin dito. Uy, parang hindi yan nilalamig.
Ay.
Parang nahimatay na siya. Gisingin mo.
Jay!
Okay, so in our scenario, the friend faints upon seeing that the boat is moving due to the strong waves. The friend has a bad experience with riding boats as she fell off one time and suffered from unconsciousness due to drowning, and sadly, her friend was not knowledgeable with her traumatic experience. Next slide, please.
So our next topic is dissociation, dealing with emotional conflicts by a temporary alteration in consciousness or identity. So applicable disorder po is dissociative or multiple personality. And for example po, amnesia that prevents recall of yesterday's auto accident, adult remembers nothing of childhood sexual abuse. So next po. So ito po yung role play po ng dissociation. Nasaan ako ngayon?
Nandito po kayo ngayon sa ospital. Ako po yung nurse niyong naka-duty ngayon. Denise po yung pangalan ko.
Ang huli kong naalala ay pauwi kami ng bahay gamit ang aming kotse. Kasama ko si nanay at si tatay. At may biglang.
Na-aksidente po kayo. Wala po ba kayong maalala?
Aksidente? Nasaan ang tatay at nanay ko? Pa! Ma!
Mabuti pa po, kumalma po muna kayo. Mas maganda pong magpahinga muna kayo dahil malala po yung mga sugat na natamo ninyo.
Nasaan sila? Gusto ko sila makita. Gusto ko malaman ang nangyari sa kanila.
Mas maganda po siguro kung hintayin na lang natin yung doktor para po malaman ninyo kung anong nangyari sa kanila at yung kondisyon nila.
So 2 hours later, ang sabi ng doktor, si mama at si papa ay patay na.
Sir, okay lang po ba kayo?
Si mama at si papa patay na. Naaalala ko na ang lahat. Habang pauwi kami galing sa labas, may nakasalubong kaming truck. Nasa likod ako noon at nasa harapan silang dalawa.
Naiintindihan ko pong malungkot kayo sa pagkawala ng magulang ninyo.
Ganun ba?
Opo, kaya iwan ko na po muna itong pagkain nyo dito sa lamesa ha.
Time skip next day.
Sir Christian, nakita ko po hindi nyo ginalaw yung pagkain ninyo ah.
Ayokong kumain.
Nako, nakatulala na naman po kayo dyan sa bintana. Kailangan nyo pong kumain, sir, para mas mabilis po ang recovery ninyo.
Nurse, may tanong ako.
Ano po yun?
Nanaginip ba ako?
Ay, hindi po, sir. Gising na gising po kayo.
Alam ko na. Panaginip lang lahat ng ito. Baka pag nagising ako, buhay pa sila mama at papa. Tutulog na ako ulit.
Sir, naintindihan ko po na para sa inyo panaginip lang lahat ng to. Pero di ba po, napag-usapan na ninyo ng doktor ninyo na wala na po sila?
Hindi yan totoo! Umalis ka dito! Ayun po. So kanina po sa roleplay, pinakita po ni patient na siya po ay disconnected from himself due to trauma. Example po nito is yung pagkatulala lang po niya sa bintana. And then, pinakita rin po ni patient na depressed po siya. Example po nun, yung hindi po niya pagkain at yung para pong walang buhay yung kanyang boses. And then, meron din po siyang pinakitang mood swings. Malungkot po siya, tapos sabay nagalit. Ayun po. And then lastly po, nagpakita po siya ng feeling as though the world is distorted or not real. Ibig sabihin po doon, derealization po. Example po nito yung nanaginip lang daw po siya. Hindi po daw po totoo ang lahat. So, yun po yung mga symptoms ng dissociation. So, next po.
So for symbolization, so it is a way of handling inner conflicts by turning them into distinct symbols. Symbols are often physical items, although there may be also symbolic acts and metaphoric ideas. So applicable disorder is phobias. It's an irrational fear of something that's unlikely to cause harm. And the Greek word phobos, which means fear or horror. Hydrophobia, for example, literally translates to fear of water. Individuals experience intense fear, a certain object or situation. So example, a soldier explained his decision to join the army as defending the flag. A man asked for the woman's hand, symbolizing the hand as hand in marriage.
Oh, ano na naman iniisip mo? Lah, nagmamadali ka na naman. Anong oras pa lang, oh?
May 2 jobs kasi ako today. Time is money. I have to earn money para may extra income since one person cannot shoulder lahat ng expenses sa bahay.
Pero why not reward yourself with your hard work? Teka, may schedule kami next month to Cebu. Tara, sama ka. Pero impake ka na now, as in now na, bawal humindi. Kasi alam mo, nakikita ko na lagi mo na lang inuuna yung iba. Kailan mo ba unahin sarili mo? Hindi naman masama maging masaya.
Work is important. Life is like a roller coaster. Kailangan handa ka whatever happens. Pag-isipan ko na lang kung sasama ako. Pag hindi, babawi na lang ako sa next life. Ay, next time pala. So in this scenario, so a workaholic girl prevents herself from being too much happy because she is scared that something bad might happen pag nagiging sobrang masaya siya. Kahit iyain siya ng friend niya na mag-travel, she's making excuses so she cannot join her friends para maging masaya. So, in here, time is money, meaning time has value. Then, life is like a roller coaster, meaning life has a sudden or extreme changes in a short span of time.
So for the next defense mechanism, we have undoing. Undoing is exhibiting acceptable behavior to make up for or negate unacceptable behavior. Applicable disorder is obsessive compulsive disorder. So to give a background, it is a disorder in which people have recurring unwanted thoughts, ideas, or sensations, which is their obsessions, that make them feel driven to do something repetitively, which is compulsions. For example, a man who has been dishonest to his girlfriend buys her flower but does not apologize. And another one is excessively praising someone after you insulted them. So to give more example, let's watch this scenario. Maraya, iaasa mo na lang ba sa akin lahat? Pati pag-aayos ng gamit mo, ako pa din. Wala ka bang kamay? Yung sala, hindi man lang naka-organize. Yung mga magazines, di ba sinabi ko sa'yo, arrange everything accordingly?
Ate, hindi naman po. Pagod lang po talaga ako sa klase, kaya hindi ko na po maharap ngayon.
Puro na lang pagod sa klase, pagod sa klase. Talagang, akala mo sa akin, hindi ako napapagod? Mula nung dumating ka sa buhay ko, puro sakit na lang sa ulo yung binibigay mo sa akin.
Sige po, maglilinis na po. Hindi ko na po ito mauulit.
Dapat lang, pag ganahin mo naman yung kukorte mo, huwag puro hilata. Ano ka, prinsesa? Bunsoy namin, baba ka na, kain na tayo, bumili ako ng paborito mong pagkain.
Ate, ano po yan? Dalawa lang po tayong kakain. Bakit ang dami niyo pong binili?
Bunsoy, alam mo namang bibilhin ni ate ang lahat para sa'yo. Bumili ako ng isang bucket ng chicken, may spaghetti at fries din dyan. Sinamahan ko na rin ng paborito mong Magnum. Nagpa-deliver na din nga pala ako ng mga paborito mong highlighter para sa pag-aaral mo.
Hindi po ba sobra-sobra ito?
Ay, walang sobra-sobra pagdating sa'yo, Bunso. Sige na at kumain ka na, huwag kang magpapagutom. You can see in the scenario, she attempted to take back or undo action that had resulted in guilt, which determines the defense mechanism of undoing. So next po.
Next defense mechanism, the next one is splitting. So to define, demonstrating an inability to reconcile with negative and positive attributes of self or others. So for the applicable disorder, this is known as the borderline personality disorder, or the BPD, that can view people, events, or even themselves in all or nothing terms. For example, a client tells a nurse that she is the only one who cares for her, yet the following day, the same client refuses to talk to the nurse. So next po. So, good morning po. Ako po si Denise. Ako po ang nurse niyo ngayong araw. Magpapainom lang po sana ako ng gamot.
Uy, nurse din, dito ka na naman. Alam mo ba, ang saya-saya ko pag nakikita kita. Parang ikaw na lang kasi natitira kong kaibigan dito sa mundo.
Nako, masaya naman po akong marinig yan. Pero pinapaalala ko po sa inyo na nurse po ninyo ako. Sakto po, eto na, inumin niyo na po gamot niyo.
Sige, ang bait nyo naman po, nurse din. Sige po.
The next day. So, good morning po uli. Ako po si Denise, yung nurse niyo po ngayong araw.
Ba't ngayon ka lang? Kanina pa ako naghihintay dito ah.
Nako, pasensya na po. Pero ganito po talaga yung oras ng pag-inom niyo ng gamot. Kumain na po ba kayo para mainom niyo na po ito?
Ano bang pake mo? Wala ka namang pake sa akin, di ba?
Okay, so as observed from our scenario, the patient seems to be having trouble to tolerate difficult emotions. So makikita po natin na sobrang gusto po niya yung nurse the first day dahil nga po ramdam niya po na siya na lang yung kaibigan niya at nakakaintindi sa kanya, kaya nasabi po niya na ang bait-bait po niya na nurse. So nung next day naman po, naramdaman niya is parang nagkaroon siya ng neglect. Tapos, bigla na lang pong sinabi niya sa nurse na napakasama na ng nurse. So, basically, na-overwhelm po siya sa mga simple na feelings and emotions, which led to the patient categorizing them as either good or bad. Next po.
So next po is the fixation. So fixation is the immobilization of a portion of the personality resulting from unsuccessful completion of tasks in a developmental stage. So, under ng fixation is the never learning to delay gratification and also yung lack of a clear sense of identity as an adult. So, the applicable disorder po sa fixation is the obsessive compulsive disorder or yung OCD. It is a mental illness that causes individuals to fixate on things in life. So, ang fixation po, it relates po to having attachments to people or things that persist from childhood to adulthood. So, According to Freud, he claimed that people get stuck in one stage of psychosexual development. So in other words po, we can become obsessed and fixated on things because we get stuck somewhere in our growth and development. So the applicable disorder po is the obsessive compulsive disorder. So dito po, a person has a uncontrollable or reoccurring thoughts or yung obsessions na tinatawag that he or she feels the urge to repeat over and over. So next slide po is the example scenario po for fixation. Tao po, pabili po.
Ayun, Trisha, ikaw pala yan. Ano bibilin mo? Hulaan ko, Yossi at candy na naman yung bibilhin mo. Tama ba ako?
Uy, Mika, hello. Ay, ang galing mo talaga, friend. Alam na alam mo agad ko ano yung bibilhin ko.
Ay nako, oo naman. Araw-araw mo yung binibili tuwing nauwi ka galing trabaho. Bale, ilang peraso nga pala ng bibilin mo?
Isang kaha lang, tapos 10 candy na din.
Ito isang kaha at 10 candy.
Ito na yung bayad.
Lakas mo talaga mag-yosi, no?
Oo, saglit lang maubos sa akin yan. Maya't maya, sinde, tapos yosi. Ewan ko ba, hinahanap talaga ng bibig ko yung yosi. Tapos gusto ko lagi akong may nginunguya, katulad ng mga candy, lollipop, o kaya chewing gum. Siya, tuloy na ako, friend. Balik na lang ulit ako. Salamat.
Yeah.
2 hours later.
Tao po, pabili po.
Hoy, Trisha, ano bibilin mo?
Friend, pabili naman ako 2 Coke na mismo, tas 2 Piatos, 2 ring Nova, 2 Biglet, saka pabili na rin ako ng 3 Skyflakes, tapos 2 cream on, tas 10 lollipops.
Uy, ang dami naman yan, friend. May bisita ka, no?
Uy, wala no. Sa akin lang lahat yan, nakainin ko ngayon.
Grabe, overeating yarn.
Oo, Mika, pampatanggal stress ko kasi yan.
Sige, wait lang ha. Prepare ko lang.
Sige, friend, take your time.
Tisha, ito na Baka maubos na yung kuko mo dyan, kakangat-ngat.
Masaway ka? Naasanayin ko na kasi gawin yan lalo na pag naboboard ako kaya natitense. Halos pudpud na nga yung kuko ko kaka-nail bite Bali, magkano pala lahat?
65 pesos lang.
Ito na yung bayad. Salamat, friend.
Thank you rin.
So, in this scenario po, if hindi na-resolve yung oral stage ng isang tao during her childhood, fixation can occur po. So, the fixation caused them to continue to seek oral pleasures such as nail biting, chewing gum, excessive drinking, or smoking. So, until this conflict is not resolved, the individual will remain stuck in this stage. Next slide, please.
Defense mechanism is denial. Denial is pretending the truth is not reality to manage the anxiety of acknowledging what is real. So it is often seen in people with substance abuse, alcoholics, and smokers. So an example of this is when someone suggests that they have a problem with alcohol use or substance use, they minimize the role of alcohol or drugs, compare their alcohol or drug use to others, blame others for their problems. So, ito po yung mga sinasabi nila. Kaunti lang naman ako uminom. I don't do as much as other people na inaaya kasi ako kaya ako lagi umiinom. Or if my job wasn't so stressful, I wouldn't use or drink so much. So, denial may either be adaptive or maladaptive, depending on their use. Yung adaptive use is using the defense mechanism in a healthy way. It allows individuals to adapt in a positive manner to situations and help them face the problem and not run away from it. So for an example, we will present a role play of a woman initially saying no, that can't be true when told she has cancer. Hello ma'am, kamusta na po kayo?
Hello, I'm okay naman, pero madalas pa rin pagod.
Okay, ma'am, I'll go straight to the point po ha. Your results came back and I regret to tell you na you have breast cancer.
What? No, that can't be true. I can't have cancer. Wala naman sa family namin ang may cancer. Are you sure po?
I'm afraid so po, ma'am. Cancer is not only hereditary, there are other factors that can cause its development po.
Ano pong gagawin ko? What will happen next?
The next step is for you to meet the medical oncology team and surgery team. They'll probably recommend chemotherapy and it will be followed po by surgery and then radiation therapy.
Okay, I'll do everything that needs to be done para pag gumaling ako.
Okay. So from the example po, the patient was initially in denial, pero in the end, she accepted it and agreed to get treatment. Denying it at first gave her time to adjust to the situation and let her process her emotions so she can move forward. So she used the defense mechanism in a healthy way. She did not let it interfere with her treatment.
So for the maladaptive use of denial, this is when someone continuously uses denial to avoid the reality they have to face, which is also an unhealthy coping mechanism. So, for example, a parent who is informed that his son was killed in combat tells everyone 1 month later that he is coming home for the holidays. So we will now present a scenario where a widowed mother denies the death of her husband even after 2 years, and she still talks about him in the present tense. Anak, bakit pang dalawa lang ang hinanda mo?
Dalawa lang naman tayo kakain.
Baka kasi umuwi maaga ang tatay mo. Makakasama pa rin natin kumain.
Ano po? Ma, wala na po si Dad. Ano pong sinasabi niyo? Kumain na lang po tayo.
Ano? Huwag mo sasabihin yan. Uuwi pa rin ang tatay mo.
Ma, di po pwede na ganyan na lang lagi.
Anak, hindi ko alam kung anong sinasabi mo. This scenario, we saw that the mother has ended up using an unhealthy way of coping, which in result, she uses denial as a defense mechanism. This is for her to avoid reality of being a widowed mother, and it ends up causing conflict with her daughter.
So that is all for our presentation. Again, we are Group C, and thank you for listening.